Happy New Year's and welcome back to Jayme and Andy's Tesla Adventures. Monday, Andy and I received self-driving update 14.2.2.2. We have not had self-driving drive us on this version yet, so this is going to be my first impression. 14.2.2 was a good version. It definitely did bring some improvements. It still has issues not following some traffic legal signs on the road. Don't turn left, only turn right. Also, it does double turns and it likes to cross over solid whites. And FSD 14.2.2 also did have issues with the snow. We had FSD drive us around in the snow last Saturday, and it generally did a great job, but there were moments, which I'll talk about a little bit later, that it still just is not fixing. Today, I wanted to do something different. I need to go and do some errands. First, go to the car wash, and I need to go to Ace. Probably along the way, I'll go to Starbucks just to get a quick espresso. Good afternoon, Grok.
Good afternoon. How can I help you today?
Could you please set navigation to a few destinations? I need to go to Starbucks. Then I also need to go to the car wash. And also, can we go to Ace? I need to pick up a few things.
Sure, picking the closest open ones. Starbucks at 1825 Central Park Drive, Velocity Car Wash at 150 Trafalgar Drive, and Steamboat Ace Hardware at 2155 Curve Plaza, all in Steamboat Springs. Starting navigation to these in order now.
Can you set the navigation for those, please?
Navigation set to Starbucks first, then Velocity Car Wash, and Steamboat Ace Hardware. It's 1.2 miles total, arriving around 1:54 p.m.
Appreciate it. Can you actually get rid of the Velocity Car Wash? Is there a manual car wash that's near that? I think it's Mountain View Car Wash.
Got it. Remove Velocity and swapped in Mountain View Car Wash self-serve east at 635 South Lincoln Avenue. It's a manual self-serve spot, open 24/7. Route updated. Starbucks, Car Wash, then Ace Hardware. Still about 1.2 miles, arriving around 1:54 p.m.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Safe travels.
We will go ahead and get started. So, self-driving activated. So I did want to talk about our experience with the snow, the heavy snow that we received last Saturday in Steamboat Springs. FSD, again, generally did a great job. Performance in the snow. We do have all-season tires on our 2026 model, but they're brand new tires, so they're not worn down or anything like that. Okay, well, I guess it went over that bump in the rear. It's kind of hugging the side. Why is it doing that? That's weird. Huh. Anyway, oh wait, we're in sloth mode. We'll put it in standard. There we go. So going back, last Saturday we received a heavy snowstorm here in Steamboat. FSD did a great job, generally, but there were still problems that it's having with the speed management. Now, as a human being, you would think if you're sliding, it's slick out, slow it down, go a slower speed. We do have the all-season tires, and again, they're in great condition. They're perfect condition. It's a brand new vehicle, this 2026 Model Y. We have never had the need for winter tires in the past with our previous vehicles. We have winter tires on one vehicle right now, but honestly, I have not really seen a difference as far as it slipping. I'm not saying, it wouldn't help out to have winter tires in some cases. But what we saw on Saturday, FSD was not adjusting to the slip, it slipping on the road. There were, like a few issues where it was driving on slick conditions, like going downhill especially. That is a real hair raiser right there. It does go downhill at a quicker speed than it should on icy and slick roads. The issue, we were going downhill and it was sliding, and it slid and it kept going. I think it slowed down maybe just a little bit, maybe a couple miles per hour under, but then it fixed, corrected, and then it continued going the speed, which, that's not what. Okay, so that was a weird movement. I've never had FSD do that before. There's a couple of interesting ones that just happened. And it fails to adapt to that slickness. Like, again, a normal human being, I was able to actually, there was one particular post that we had put on X. It shows dash cam from our Tesla with the, overlay and all that of FSD being activated. And FSD was going around a tight curve. It was a 20 mile per hour road. But us being humans, we know that you cannot go fast around that tight curve. For one, and if you also live in that area too, you would know. That road is always slick. It is extremely slick, and it is always covered by shade around there, so there's always problems, with just snow buildup. Even when a lot of the snow starts to melt around town, there are particular spots where it doesn't because of shade, and that is definitely one of them. But anyway, other people were going slow around that. Other human beings were going slow around that curve. Rightfully so. Actually, give me a second. Grok, could you actually take me to the Starbucks over by Hypnotic Chicken?
Which Starbucks by Hypnotic Chicken?
It's actually by Angler's Drive. It's Angler's Drive.
Sure. This Starbucks at 225 Angler's Drive. Starting navigation there now.
Could you please add the other destinations that I had in there, please, in the same chronological order?
Sorry, I don't have the previous destinations stored. What are the other stops you want to add, in order?
Okay, well, I don't know why Grok deleted all the other ones, which is very weird. All I had asked was just to change the Starbucks location, so let's have it add the other ones. Take me to that Mountain View car wash where you manually wash, and also take me to Ace as the last destination.
Got it. Route updated. Starbucks on Angler's Drive first.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Safe travels.
Anyway, sorry, I keep getting distracted and thrown off. I'm trying to finish the story. Okay, let's get rid of that. So, FSD was going around that curve too fast. It was FSD's fault. It didn't matter if... Okay, what is it doing? All I needed to do was just go to the left. Why is it doing this? Oh no. Uh-oh, we're gonna have a disengagement, I believe. It should have just went to the left that way, go down this way and around roundabout, and right out here. We've had this issue with FSD not following left turn, no, don't enter signs, only right turns, no left turns. And this particular left turn, FSD just keeps wanting to go left. Excuse me, this right turn only, it only wants to go left, and it won't fix. So I guess we'll just see what it does. Again, it could have just went the other way and went around the roundabout, and it would have been perfectly fine. Unless it's gonna go out this way and turn right, then that's fine, but we'll see. All right, I'm gonna have to take over. Well, maybe not, we'll just let this lady go. I would have went because it was clear that she didn't want to go. So FSD wants to go to the left. We can't do that. I'm going to have to intervene because I'm not going to hold up traffic. This is a very busy area. And you'll just kind of see it wanting to turn that way on the screen anyway. And there's a cop. That's lovely. Well, community service officer. Doesn't matter. Let's imagine that was a cop and FSD was attempting to turn left. Clearly shown, only right turn, no left turn. See, yeah, it's holding up traffic and all that, so we'll just take over. All right, so I'll reactivate FSD. All it had to do at that point right over there while we were still in the parking lot, just turn left, and we would have been out of there already. We would have been out, done, and no worries. And then even if it did want to go over here to that where we were just at the right turn only, it just had to turn right, go around this roundabout, and we would have been there. Okay, so this is really weird. Why is it doing this? I mean, look, it's 5 minutes away. It should not be going here. It does not. Wow, what is it doing? I mean, I understand that I changed the location on it, but that's a very simple task, is just redirect and reroute to the next location. Like, it's going through all these obstacles, all this. Okay, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it doesn't say right there that you can't do that maneuver, but why would you? First of all, it shouldn't have gone through that parking lot. First of all, it should have just went left in the City Market parking lot instead of right to go around the roundabout. Second of all, if it were to go, or it did, since it did go to that no left turn, right turn only, it should have went right and then around the roundabout. Third, it went through another parking lot just to get on this road right here. Has no reason to do that. Anyway, so going back to the story of the heavy snow the other day, other people were going a decent speed when we were driving, when we manually took over because we had to. FSD just was not having it. FSD was in sloth mode and it still wanted to go 18 or 20 miles per hour, which it is a 20 mile per hour road. In that kind of a condition, no. We have all season tires. It doesn't matter. If we had bald tires and they were like in poor condition tires, I'd understand a little bit. But even at that point, FSD probably would not have adjusted to that. Okay, well, I think that was unnecessary. Yeah, I don't know about this version right now. So far, it's been messing up quite a bit. Like, it had so much time. It could have went. And it didn't. That guy was way back there by that red sign right there. It could have went. Anyway, it chose to keep going that speed. Even if it were ball tires or these brand new all seasons, it's still, and that is the issue. And people that are saying you need to have winter tires, you put FSD in this position, how dare you? They didn't say how dare you, but they were offended that we even did that kind of a test. And it wasn't even a test. We were just having FSD drive us around town because it was beautiful snowing out. And it's like, what? Okay, FSD should be adjusting to that. You guys are not grasping it. You're not grasping the fact that FSD needed to it needed to adjust. It needed to adapt to a different speed, and it wasn't. All right, so we'll let it park. Yeah, I guess it did okay. I mean, me personally, I would never park here because I don't like, parking in between people or even next to anybody, because, I know how some people can be a little careless at times. So I'm going to go inside. I'm going to have myself an espresso shot, and we can go ahead and continue the story of our last Saturday trip and continue the first impressions of this drive, which so far I'm not impressed. I mean, you saw it. It's on video. So that was a decent espresso I had. All right, so we can continue to our next destinations, and I'll press start from here. All right, so FSD needs to adjust to the conditions of the road. It, going that quick speed, especially going around a curve, that tight curve was pretty bad. It just needs to go, a decent speed. It just needs to adjust to it. And it's not learning like Andy said in our previous video. He, said that it's not learning the proper speed management. If it's sliding, the human being would slow down. The computer is not. And the winter tires, that whole debate on that. With the car that I said that we have that has winter tires on it, I've slid in those, with those on. It's, again, would it help in some cases? Yeah, maybe. But I don't really see much of a difference in it with, compared to this vehicle. And it was kind of funny, actually. There was a couple of people that were upset that we put FSD in that tough spot, that we shouldn't have done that we were just, being mean to FSD. I mean, that wasn't a quote, but it certainly is what, around I don't know exactly what they said, I don't remember. And It's funny because somebody had told me, FSD did put me in a tough position one time, and I did post that video on X where FSD was turning right onto this stretch of road right here. It is a highway. And there was a blue truck that was illegally merging into the right lane, which is the lane that FSD was attempting to turn into. And FSD went, and it didn't see the truck. Like, I don't know how I did. I was watching because, you know, we have to supervise FSD. But I saw the blue truck was illegally merging into the right lane, and FSD just continued going. And when I say FSD likes to do double turns, FSD had it had two options, and the only two options it should have done: stop and wait when it saw that truck turning into the lane, into the merging into the right lane. Just wait, don't go. Second option, it could have turned into the closest lane, which was a merging lane to get onto the highway. I mean, it was pretty simple, but FSD, I don't know if it didn't see that truck. I did. I'm gonna have to take over right here, actually, because FSD attempts to go into here, and we don't want to do that because, as you can see, the other vehicles, they are facing this way. So I will take over, and I will do it from here. It'd be great if it went the proper way. We're supposed to trust this software. Tesla, they say that FSD is safer than a human driver. And, you know, I do believe that to an extent, but how was I able, me being a human, able to react to a car illegally merging into a right lane that FSD was attempting to turn into, and the computer didn't? I had to eventually disengage and push on the accelerator, which is a great thing with Tesla. You know, it's got some great acceleration. But anyway, somebody had commented in there, like, FSD cannot do anything wrong. FSD is never at fault for anything. This guy had said, essentially, you know, kind of a little spat back and forth, you know, in a nice way. It came down to them saying, I would just let the car drive. It's like, okay, so you would want us to put ourselves in a dangerous situation where FSD, I don't know if it probably wouldn't have sideswiped, but why even put us in that position anyway? Just wait, or stay in the closest lane to turn into, which is the merging lane to get on the highway, which it should have used anyway, and it didn't. It attempted to double turn and go into that right lane on the highway. It's really disconcerting when people are saying that, you know, you should have just let FSD go. You should have just let it drive, let it do its thing. When we do let FSD go and let it do its thing, like, for example, from last Saturday when we had that heavy storm and it was going around that tight curve, we let it go. And then people were still complaining about that we put FSD in that spot. Well, I let the car drive, just as that person said I would let the car drive. I let it drive, and it didn't correct itself. So would it have hit that truck? FSD, certainly, it didn't make a move to avoid it. And we'll continue on to our next destination, which is Ace here in Steamboat. All right, let's see here. I think we should be good. Yep. Perfect. And there was a person on X. Here, let me get the windshield wipers. They went a lot of miles. I think it was about 10,000 miles. That's great. Congratulations to him. That's awesome. We, Andy and I, of course, have some curiosity if he had any, you know, incidents or events where FSD did break any traffic laws. And I mean, the numbers are there. Like, we do believe him, you know, that he did go the 10,000 miles with self-driving active the whole time, and he claims he didn't drive an inch. Which is cool. I'm curious if FSD in fact broke any traffic laws, because that's Andy and I were pretty critical on this kind of stuff. If we're going to have this vehicle drive us while while we're sitting in the back enjoying the drive, if that's what we're shooting for, which we all are wanting it to happen, we don't want it to break any traffic law. We don't want to have it put us in danger at all. And with our experience with 14.2.2, FSD likes to double turn frequently. It likes to, what was I going to say? Oh, cross solid white lines, and it likes to turn left at a right turn only. I'm pretty sure if I went to the school right over here, I'm not saying it would, but we have had issues in the past. That particular issue was it speeding through a school zone, and it being in sloth mode, it would go the normal speed. It didn't adjust to it. And I've seen video too where FSD does adjust to the speed limit, to the school zone speed limit, when there's a flashing sign involved. And with our experience here in town, over there by the school zone, FSD does not adjust the speed because there's no flashing sign. It's just a regular sign, and it says, between this time in the AM and this time in the PM, this is the speed limit. So FSD didn't read that sign and didn't adhere to the traffic law for that. But yeah, we're seeing these patterns, and we are constantly having to disengage, intervene, report to Tesla these issues. And we're not the only ones that have these problems. We know we have family that have a 2026 model. They have the same issues that we have described. It likes to do double turns. It likes to cross over solid white lines. Probably other things too that we haven't seen yet, or that I'm forgetting to mention right now. And then when we posted that video of the heavy snow day and FSD taking that curve a little too quick, like I said, the posts skyrocketed. It was very it was a hit for our channel anyway, or for our account on X. But there were people that were agreeing. They were saying they are constantly having to intervene or disengage FSD because of those types of scenarios, because the FSD is breaking traffic laws. And those things that I had mentioned, plus it likes to turn it likes to merge in the middle of an intersection, which is illegal. So again, we're not saying that this person we're not saying that he is being untruthful with him not disengaging or intervening. That we totally believe. But was FSD committing any kind of traffic law? Did it do awkward things? And this individual just let it happen without intervening or disengaging, and let it break the law without having to report it to Tesla. And did it put himself into awkward situations where he just let it go until finally something fixed? Because we just saw back there it's not uncommon for us to be disengaging FSD quite frequently just during one road trip. So driving 10,000 miles with no intervention, disengagement. Somebody actually did question him, in one of his posts, if it ever came to a close call. And this person replied back saying, absolutely not. We're not the only ones having these problems. Those people that were agreeing and sharing those experiences with similar situations with us, they're not the only ones having those issues. My family members, they're not the only ones that are having those issues. There are a lot of people that are having those issues. But for some odd reason, some particular person is not having issues with FSD whatsoever. So it's a little interesting, and we're just curious. That's all I'm going to say is Andy and I And we've seen other comments in relation to that person's post questioning the same thing, like, really, no disengagements and intervention, like, you know, the car didn't mess up at all? It's very curious because, again, we're constantly having to disengage with FSD driving, you know, intervening and reporting it. Oh, look at that's great. That's awesome. See, FSD did a great job right there. Awesome. But it's interesting, like this particular person, and I mentioned too in previous videos, big Tesla influencers seem to never have problems with self-driving at all. But apparently we're the only ones, you know. It seems like the smaller accounts, those people are having issues, but since they don't have a larger voice, they can't. I mean, there are some people, I'm pretty sure, I haven't come across any, but they don't really have a voice on X, so those posts either get pushed aside, the algorithm doesn't really share it too much, including ours. We're not a big account either. Which was great that particular post for us that we posted about the heavy snowstorm and Steamboat and FSD sliding. It was great to see other people, you know, commenting on there and saying, yeah, we have similar issues too. So yeah, we're skeptical. We're just a little, you know, kind of like, did the car have a problem at all? Did it break any traffic law? I'm not including speeding, like everybody speeds. 1 mile per hour over the speed limit is essentially illegal. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into Ace. I need to grab a couple of things. All right, so I'm done here at Ace. Just put in a random destination here and we'll activate self-driving. So I did my errands for the day. That was nice to get FSD out and test it. So going back to the person, you know, doing 10,000 miles, again, that's awesome, great. We just have curiosity if FSD broke any traffic laws and if this person was just letting it do it, just to say that, you know, he kept FSD 100% engaged without any interventions or disengagements, which, I mean, that's the point of that travel, right, was to drive 100% FSD. The problem is we can't let FSD break any laws. We can't have FSD breaking traffic law. And with our experiences and seeing other people's experiences, there's just, it's just unclear. And we hope that, you know, we can get some kind of clarification on that, because honestly, I really doubt that FSD followed traffic law perfect 100% of the time. And, you know, that's my doubt. I'm not gonna lie, you know, we see it, you know, mess up quite often. You can take a look at our X, you can take a look at our other videos here on YouTube. And that was weird, it did that white turn. You know, you can take a look at all those videos. We have plenty of examples of FSD breaking the law, and it's still not fixing, not following traffic, all of traffic signs. I mean, this drive has been pretty good. Now I would say it's been pretty good. But initially it was like, what the heck are you doing? First impressions are always key, and FSD did not impress me. I've always wanted to do that. That's awesome. All right, we'll put it back in self-driving. No more joking around. I thought they would find that funny. They did. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Again, the drive has been decent. I don't really notice anything different. I'm sure we'll take a nice drive later on in the future, and see if we can notice anything different. There's definitely one area that I do want to check to see if it's going to do an unprotected left and make it perfect, but then all of a sudden it aborts and goes into the merging lane to get onto the highway. So I'm going to test that in a particular spot, and we'll see if it does that. But that'll be later on. Maybe I'll even do it during this drive right here. I'll go over there. But yeah, it is similar to the prior version. I didn't really care for that whole going out and just driving through a bunch of parking lot. That wasn't fun at all. That wasted a lot of time, and it was just a stupid decision on FSD's part. FSD, again, on the day that it was snowing really heavily, it was FSD's fault. Didn't matter what tires were on it. It needed to adjust to it. So that's just, I'm going to go ahead and close that up. And as far as like FSD driving, you know, letting it drive, the person who got mad at me and saying just let FSD drive when it could have possibly sideswiped the truck driver that was illegally merging in the middle of the intersection. Just let it drive. So I'm supposed to let it drive and see what it does. No, I'm not going to. I saw what was going to happen, and I disengaged. And I, well, essentially intervened because I just floored it. And then letting it, so I let FSD do its thing on that poor conditioned road, you know, during the heavy snowstorm last Saturday. And then now people are upset about that. So it's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. I don't care. You know, I know what the car should be doing. You know, going with the conditions on the road, just go slow. If you see a truck coming, just wait or pull into the proper lane. It's not that hard. These are, I mean, the proof is right there in the video. It's cut and dry. There's no arguing it. But people, you know, they don't want to fault FSD. That's fine. That's their opinion, but it's wrong. So anyway, we will post new content, hopefully, you know, in the near future, showing FSD 14.2.2.2. We'll just see if it's any kind of improvement or really no change at all. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe, and we will continue to bring out new content with this version. And if a new version comes out quick, then I guess we'll just start on that. Thank you for watching, and until next time. All right, so we're coming up to that intersection right now. We'll go ahead and let FSD do a U-turn over there by the church, and then we'll come back to this intersection to see if it makes a perfect unprotected left turn instead of using that right merging lane to get onto this highway. All right, let's see if it does it. It's got the left turning signal on. It's okay. What was that? Like, come on. It attempted to go and like hesitated right there, so there was a bit of jerkiness and brake jabbing, which is interesting that we're having it with 14.2.2.2. All right, let's see it. Okay, so it fixed right there. That's good. Awesome. That's good to see. I'm going to attempt to do it again though, because that's what I like to do. Give it a second try. All right, so let's add the stop again to the church. Okay, that was weird. FSD could have just went around the roundabout. It was doing fine, and then it went this way. To my knowledge, there is no way to get to that church this way. It just leads to a school. Okay, so FSD took this detour that led nowhere. We're back right here at the roundabout. All it had to do was just go around the roundabout and go back that way. That gets us onto the highway. Instead, it wanted to take a little, I guess, side trip and take a look at the school and just turn around. Like, seriously? Okay. What is going on with FSD? FSD was driving, as you can see. But first of all, it had issues navigating back to this spot. And then now it's going through the entire parking lot when all it had to do was just do a U-turn through the parking lot and to go back onto the road. Now it wants to go through a non-existing road. I had to disengage because this is clearly a field right here. A little small field. Parking lot ends right where... Here, let me see. Right there. I'm gonna back up a little bit so you can see. Look at that. That's end of road right there. So, I'm not impressed. All right, let's get FSD back on track. I don't know what version this person with 10,000 miles FSD, 100%, no disengagements, no interventions, what version he's on. I don't know. I just don't believe it. I'm sorry, I don't believe that it didn't somehow mess up. Let's see right here. All right, FSD could totally go right now. And it's creeping up. Chooses not to, even though it had plenty of time. Okay, stop hesitating, go, come on. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and call it on that. It's clear FSD is not sharing any kind of, it's not showing any improvements. Okay, so FSD just merged into the right turn only, just to get back onto the road it was on. Like, I just pushed end recording, and then as soon as I did that, it made that maneuver, so I just pushed record again. So I don't know how much of it got. I'll try to add the dash cam in that. Wow, yeah, like there is no improvements at all. It almost seems like it got worse from the prior version.